Across the United States, ICE operations are running close to full capacity nationwide. Planes are departing almost daily, carrying individuals under final removal orders as enforcement continues. What's happening now goes beyond routine enforcement. ICE operations have intensified, with flights departing from multiple states more frequently, reflecting a significant increase in deportation activity. From Florida to New York, Texas to Arizona, deportation flights are scheduled frequently across multiple states, signaling a notable increase in activity over recent months. In this video, we'll break down how ICE has expanded these operations, which cities are at the center of the surge, and what it means for the broader immigration debate. But before we move further, if you want to stay updated on these major developments, make sure to subscribe to the channel and never miss an update. Let's dive in. Across the country, ICE deportation flights are operating at a heightened pace. From regional airports to major hubs, aircraft are taking off almost daily, carrying individuals under final removal orders. This is part of a broader, nationwide effort, not isolated raids. These flights are carefully scheduled, coordinated with local, state, and federal authorities, and follow strict security protocols. Federal officers, along with private aviation contractors, ensure every flight runs efficiently and safely. The individuals on these flights come from a variety of enforcement operations: workplace audits, traffic stops, or home visits. Some have been in ICE custody for months, while others are processed and moved through the system within days. Recent reports indicate a sharp increase in activity over the past few months. In some weeks, ICE has moved thousands of individuals across the country, reflecting a significant intensification of air deportation operations. Experts say this surge is part of a strategic approach to streamline removals and manage detention facility capacities nationwide. While these operations continue quietly, the impact is nationwide, reshaping how ICE handles removals and reflecting a notably organized and intensified effort in ICE deportation operations. According to updated figures from the Department of Homeland Security, tens of thousands of individuals have been removed from the U.S. via deportation flights since the beginning of 2025. In August alone, Human Rights First reports that ICE conducted at least 1,293 flights, averaging approximately 45 flights per day. While the Department of Homeland Security has not released weekly flight figures, independent monitoring suggests that air removals have increased in recent months, indicating a higher pace of ICE operations nationwide. Most of these deportation flights continue to head to familiar destinations in Central America, including Mexico, Guatemala, Honduras, and El Salvador, which remain the primary recipients of individuals with final removal orders. These flights are part of a coordinated strategy to return individuals to countries that have formally agreed to receive them, ensuring removals are conducted efficiently and systematically. By scheduling flights almost daily and streamlining routes, ICE is able to move large numbers of individuals each month, reflecting a nationwide effort and organized deportation operations. The individuals on these flights represent a wide range of cases, but all share one critical factor. They have final removal orders issued by federal immigration courts. Many were identified through routine workplace audits, where ICE inspects employers to ensure compliance with immigration laws and uncovers undocumented workers. Others were apprehended during traffic stops, as officers enforce the law on the roads, or during home visits, where agents verify compliance with court orders. Some of these individuals have been held in ICE custody for weeks or even months, waiting for their cases to be processed, while others move through the system with surprising speed, placed on flights within just a few days. This combination of long-term detainees and fast-track removals demonstrates ICE's organized approach, balancing enforcement priorities with logistical efficiency. Each case is carefully coordinated to ensure that flights are fully utilized and departures occur as scheduled. The operation covers a notable scale. From major cities to smaller regional airports, federal officers and contractors work around the clock to move large numbers of individuals across the country each month. This structured nationwide effort highlights not only the agency's operational capabilities, but also the careful planning behind what might appear to the public as routine deportation flights. According to various reports, around 30,000 individuals have reportedly been deported from the United States in the past month, with some sources suggesting that nearly 1,500 of those removals occurred in the past few days. These figures illustrate the ongoing enforcement of final removal orders and show how short-term operations contribute to broader monthly totals. This level of activity underscores the volume of individuals subject to final removal orders and provides a clear snapshot of deportation trends over time. By examining both the monthly total and the recent daily figures, it becomes evident that these removals are part of an ongoing process, marking a notable period of enforcement activity. ICE relies heavily on charter flights operated through private contractors to carry out deportations. These flights allow large numbers of individuals to be moved efficiently while following legal and procedural requirements. Each flight is carefully scheduled, and federal officers are present during every stage of the operation. They ensure that all steps are properly supervised and maintain close coordination with contractors to keep operations organized and controlled. Safety is a top priority. Strict security protocols are applied to ensure proper coordination and minimize risks. Flights are monitored closely from departure to arrival, and contingency plans are in place for any unexpected situations. Officers are trained to respond calmly and efficiently. Every detail is considered, including boarding procedures and in-flight supervision, so that deportations happen safely and systematically. Charter flights make it possible to move individuals quickly between regions. Operations are managed to maintain uniform standards at every stage. Federal officers and support staff work in shifts to ensure constant supervision. Contractors handle the transportation, while officers focus on compliance and oversight. Each flight is planned to maximize efficiency while keeping safety first. Operations involve multiple layers of planning. Flight schedules, personnel assignments, and safety measures are coordinated in advance. Communication between officers and contractors is continuous. Every operation is reviewed to ensure compliance with legal requirements. These measures guarantee that deportations follow established rules. Even on a large scale, efficiency is maintained. Thousands of individuals are processed each month through this system. Coordination between teams ensures that procedures are consistent and smooth. Federal officers and contractors work together closely. This structured approach reflects disciplined planning and careful execution. Overall, these deportation operations demonstrate a methodical and organized approach. Charter flights, federal oversight, and strict safety protocols combine to ensure removals are conducted effectively. The system balances speed, scale, and compliance, showing how large numbers of deportations can be carried out safely and legally. Compared to last year, there has been a clear rise in the number of operations conducted and the volume of individuals processed. More regions are seeing concentrated activity, and enforcement efforts have expanded in both scope and frequency. Analysts note that the current approach represents one of the largest coordinated removal efforts in recent times. This growth reflects a shift in both scale and focus. Federal agencies are managing larger numbers of cases simultaneously, demonstrating an ability to carry out operations efficiently while following established protocols. The surge also underscores how deportation activities have intensified over time, making this period stand out as a significant phase in ongoing enforcement efforts. President Donald Trump has reaffirmed his administration's focus on strict immigration enforcement, emphasizing the removal of individuals residing in the United States without proper authorization. Through executive orders and policy directives, federal agencies have been instructed to expedite deportations and enhance monitoring of border crossings. These measures reflect a coordinated effort across multiple federal departments to enforce existing immigration laws consistently. In public statements, the president has characterized unauthorized immigration as a significant concern for national security and public safety, advocating for stricter policies and increased resources for immigration authorities. The Department of Justice, under Attorney General Pamela Bondi, has supported this approach by issuing directives on sanctuary jurisdictions and defending the administration's policies in court against legal challenges. Federal officials have highlighted that these operations are carefully reviewed and carried out within the bounds of the law, demonstrating a commitment to due process while maintaining enforcement priorities. Together, these executive actions, public directives, and legal defenses illustrate a broad strategy to prioritize removals and uphold compliance with U.S. immigration statutes. However, deportation operations in the United States are currently facing a range of complex challenges that affect the execution of removals. Federal authorities face significant legal scrutiny, requiring careful documentation, verification of travel eligibility, and compliance with federal regulations to ensure each deportation is conducted lawfully. Operational constraints also play a major role, as ICE relies on a limited number of aircraft and must coordinate logistics across multiple domestic and international locations while adhering to strict safety and security protocols. Diplomatic considerations further complicate proceedings, with some countries imposing additional requirements or initially hesitating to accept deportees, necessitating negotiations and coordination with foreign governments. On the ground, detention facilities encounter capacity limits and procedural checks, such as confirming identities, obtaining medical clearances, and ensuring all travel documents are in order, must be meticulously completed. Together, these factors illustrate the multifaceted challenges of managing deportation operations, highlighting the careful balance authorities must maintain between enforcing immigration laws, respecting legal standards, and coordinating with local and international partners. The recent surge in immigration enforcement and deportations has generated widespread public, legal, and political responses across the United States, reflecting a deeply polarized reaction to federal policies. According to news reports, in major cities such as Los Angeles, Newark, Chicago, St. Louis, and Boston, residents and advocacy groups have staged protests outside ICE facilities, downtown streets, and detention centers, voicing opposition to removals and federal interventions. While in some instances clashes with law enforcement have been reported, local officials in sanctuary cities have openly criticized federal operations, with some municipal leaders calling for increased oversight and transparency regarding ICE activities and coordination with local law enforcement. Civil rights organizations and immigration advocacy groups have filed lawsuits challenging aspects of deportation procedures, seeking to halt expedited removals and ensure compliance with federal and international law. State and local politicians have echoed these concerns, holding hearings, issuing statements, and proposing legislation to limit local cooperation with federal enforcement, while supporters of the administration defend the operations as lawful, necessary for national security, and essential to uphold immigration statutes. The combination of street protests, legal challenges, and political debates illustrates the complexity of the current situation, highlighting the tension between federal authority, community safety, and civil liberties, as well as strong public engagement on the issue of immigration enforcement. Looking forward, the scope and pace of deportation operations are expected to remain a central feature of the national immigration debate. Analysts note that while the federal government continues to emphasize enforcement, the overall trajectory will depend on several factors, including pending court rulings, resource availability, and cooperation agreements with foreign governments. Diplomatic negotiations with receiving countries will also play a major role, as their willingness to accept returnees can directly affect how smoothly deportations are carried out. At the community level, these operations have ripple effects that go beyond airports and detention facilities. Local governments are under pressure to balance federal directives with the concerns of residents, advocacy groups, and law enforcement agencies. In cities with large immigrant populations, the presence of frequent deportation flights can fuel political debates, influence local policies, and impact public trust in institutions. Advocacy groups are likely to continue challenging aspects of removals in court, while supporters of strict enforcement will push for greater resources and efficiency in carrying out deportations. Over the coming months, immigration enforcement is expected to remain a visible part of daily life in the United States, from congressional hearings and state legislatures debating new bills to protests outside ICE facilities and continued media coverage of deportation flights. If you found this video informative, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel for additional updates and in-depth coverage. Hit the notification bell so you never miss our latest content. Thanks for watching.